The important thing about this chapter is you need to be aware of the terminologies. Okay? Because in year 12 final year exam, you are expected to be able to describe this kind of motion. In general, we call this the superposition of waves. Okay? However, when the wave of the same phase means we have a bigger wave. Okay, now we call this we call this waves meet in phase. Okay, because we have two waves in the same phase and they meet. Okay, so as a result, the amplitude is doubled, and we have constructive interference. Okay. Remember these terminologies. Wave means in phase, we have constructive interference. And at the middle point, at the highest point here, okay, we call that point an antinodal point. So we have an antinodal point occur at the center. Okay, so write this down in your cheat sheet. Okay, it is you are expected to be able to um, do this. So the idea is in the exam or in year 12, when you say two wave meets like this, you need to be able to tell me waves meets in phase, constructive interference occur, and we have antinodal points occur in the center here. Okay. Now, in contrast with this, okay, we call that destructive interference. Okay, we have a wave on the well, we have a wave meet out of phase. So again, okay, you need to be aware of this. We have waves meet out of phase, okay, because the phase of the wave are different. They meet out of phase. So we have destructive interference. We have destructive interference, and as a result, in the middle, okay, we have nodal points occur. Okay, means the wave actually cancel out each other. Again, memorize this or put it on your cheat sheet. Okay, so make sure when I mention in future videos, when I mention destructive or when I mention nodal points, you need to know this is what's happened there. Okay, and in reality, okay, the interference of wave is true. So here is a simulation. I have two speakers. They play the same frequency of sound. Okay, and you can say the sound from those two speakers, and the sound wave from those two speakers interference. As waves interferes, we have a superposition of wave. Okay, therefore, constructive interference and destructive interference occurs. Okay, so we can do an experiment. Let me enable the sound. If I move this person along like this, okay, at some point it will hear a louder sound. At some point it will hear a lower sound due to the constructive and destructive interference of waves. So Yep, just be aware. I'm going to turn it on. It's annoying. So say if I'm moving this down, say I move it down. At this point, the sound is lower, and in theory, some point around here we hear no sound. This is because at this point, at this position, the waves, the sound waves, they they miss, they meet destructively. So I hear low sound. So if I move it to here, at this position I hear more sound. There's constructive interference occur at this position. Yep, low sound at low volume at this point, so destructive interference occurs. Okay, so yep, that's it. Okay, now let's go back to this one. Okay, what I want to show you is I want to show you something that is just a simulation of what's going on there. So okay, now this is weird. Okay, now yep. So let's say if I give waves continuously like this. Now this is a little bit off. You say when a wave like this, we have wave coming through and reflects back, okay? And you say all those points there. Okay? Now ideally, those points shouldn't move up and down. Those green points, okay? Those points are the points where destructive interference occur. So as a result, if I have two speakers on both sides, if I'm standing here, I should hear minimum sound. Okay? However, at those points, if I let me just yeah, at those points there, okay, the particles vibrate at a greater vibration amplitude. Okay? So that's the antinodal point. It means waves meet constructively at the antinodal points here. So we hear maximum sound. Okay, you can have a play with it. Okay, um, so the idea is try to go to those simulations. They come from this website, okay, the Fat Physics. So the idea is go to Google. I show you how to find it. Okay, just type in Fat simulations or Fat Physics. Okay. So yep, the first link will do. And click on sound and waves. Here are the simulations you can play with. It's the one I used in the video. Okay. So feel free to do that. Okay. Now, what I introduced was a lot of year 12 knowledge, okay. But in year 11, okay, the minimum requirement is this. Okay. Make sure you know the difference. You know what it means by the superposition of waves. Okay, what's happened when wave meet in phase, constructive interference, and antinodal point. Okay, so when wave meet out of phase, we have destructive interference and we have nodal points. Means if this is sound wave, at this point there's no sound. Okay, the wave basically cancel each other out, okay, due to destructive interference.